on the next World in America. Join us as we meet the over 1 million strong Peruvian Americans. We'll see how traditions passed down since the ancient Incas have found new life in today's America. Enjoy a taste of ceviche, the upbeat rhythms of cajon, and a whole lot more. Coming up on World in America.
The Peruvian Americans are a community that are approximately over 1 million people.
Peruvian Americans are young generations in the United States, maybe a second or third generation.
I believe that first comes my citizenship, which is my loyalty to America, which I love and I would die for, but I also believe that I also have another citizenship, which is Peruvian.
Peruvian Americans has business like restaurants, travel agents, pharmacies, professionals, doctors.
The Peruvians are very hard-working people with big, deep family values.
I believe that as a Peruvian citizen, I have different traits, different cultures, different beliefs than a typical American would have.
We're mixing in the mainstream. The first Peruvian that started immigrating to the United States come to the city of Patterson. We have around 30,000 or more Peruvians living in the city of Patterson.
Located in the western corner of South America, Peru is a country that carries a very long history and a diverse natural beauty. Peru has 3 distinctive regions: steep mountains, long coastline, and deep jungles. These give Peru a unique character reflected in its customs, cuisine, and culture. Her history is also very long and rich. Reportedly inhabited by indigenous people for the last 10,000 years, Peru is also home to the Incan civilization. The Incans have given the world such beauties like Machu Picchu and the Nazca Lines. In 1532, a group of Spaniard conquistadors defeated the Incan emperor and imposed Spanish rule. Spanish rule then continued for about 300 years. After declaring its independence from Spain in the early 1800s, Peru's status of sovereignty was finally recognized internationally by the end of the 19th century. Peru struggled economically through the 1960s until the 1990s. This period caused a massive wave of migration from Peru to the United States.
So the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s were the times that, most people came from Peru, I would say.
Having a rich cultural and historical tradition, with a strong population of 30 million, Peru currently is an up-and-coming economic power in Latin America. United States-Peru Chamber of Commerce is a leading organization working towards bilateral trade opportunities between Peru and the United States. Under the leadership of Juan Carlos Reynoso, the Chamber seeks to utilize the business and investment potential between these two countries.
I've been residing in this country for over 22 years. The main focus of our chamber is to promote the business between American business entrepreneurs and Peruvian business entrepreneurs as well.
One such Peruvian entrepreneur is Norberto Coritomay. His is a quintessential American rags-to-riches story. Having come here 20 years ago with almost no money in his pocket, Norberto today owns a busing company with more than 200 vehicles, transporting passengers from northern New Jersey to New York City.
Well, my name is Norberto Coritomay. I'm in the United States 20 years.
My name is Elizabeth. I came in 1989.
My name is Narika Tamai. I'm 11 years old. I was born in New Jersey.
My name is Angel Tamai. I was born in Peru. I came in the year 1988 when I was 2.5 years old.
I have a business, transportation business. It's a family business with my daughter, my wife. I have 5 children, 2 older and 3 with my wife. They are here studying with me.
Hard work does pay off in the United States, and the American dream is still a possibility. The Kuritomai family contemplates on some of the benefits of being in this land of opportunity.
Here in America, we have a lot of opportunities to individually grow, to build individual enterprise, like my father did. My father came here from Peru, not having a lot of opportunities, not having a lot of financial resources, so he built up his own empire, he built his own industry.
There's opportunity for everyone in this country. If you want to work hard and you want to make a future for your family, for your children, and the only country I believe they can give you that kind of opportunity is the United States. Look at that Robert, little boy. No, me habo.
We can find a way to provide to our families. We can also accomplish the American dream, which is have your own home, have your business, grow your family in a country that's offering you all these facilities.
I love this country. I make my American dreams, can I say. I'm still working every day, but I am very proud to become a Peruvian American.
The United States has provided numerous opportunities for Peruvian Americans, but every rose does have a thorn or two, and Peruvians also have their share of tough times.
The language, okay, communicating for people, I don't understand why tell me about it, no? I don't understand the language.
The first thing is the language barrier. Secondly, the status, the immigration status of immigrants coming from different countries. But the biggest challenge, I believe, is the language.
I felt that going to school was really difficult for me because I didn't know the language that well, and honestly I learned the language through watching TV. It's something that I find is really miraculous. I've learned the language watching television, cartoons. I learned the language Spanish through my family, my parents teaching me home. Going to school, I realized that going to school was really hard because I didn't have a lot of Spanish friends. I lived in Clifton most of my life, so it was mostly Caucasians, mostly African Americans. So I didn't really have anybody of my culture to relate to. So I kind of grew up being a little bit confused about my culture because the only people I had from my culture was my family.
I would say the main challenges are the language, because we're Spanish-speaking people, and then the immigration status, which prevents them from growing better in the society.
Immigration rights is a central issue for Norberto. Although a very engaged businessman, whenever he has some extra time, Norberto spends it towards immigration reform.
We have more than 12 million people that without legal status in the United States. There's more of that. And those people, they're hard-working people. They're hard-working family. If they come to this country, they're working to support families, to support parents, children. We are supporting hard-working people. Or those millions of people, they are hard-working people. And we must to give you the opportunity to become residents and citizens in the future.
Hopefully, immigration policies will be improved with the hard work of people like Norberto. The more immigrants become a part of the mainstream, the more Americans can learn and enjoy some central customs of groups such as the Peruvians. This invariably leads to the realization that we are more alike than different.
We're very hospitable people. When people come to your house, you try to offer the maximum comfort possible. You offer your house for them to stay, you offer food, it's very common. And it's very important for us to make our guests feel welcome.
I think Peruvians are more of a collective society because we believe that as we grow up, I mean, going to Peru very often at a young age, I feel that Peruvians are very about the group, not about the individual. I mean, here in America you become more individualized, but in Peru it's more about the collective group. What's better for the whole family, what's better for the whole society, what's better for the community than some one person's own goal or gain.
Language is the conduit of culture. And in order to pass on Peruvian heritage from one generation to the other, learning the language is a must.
In my house speaking Spanish.
My son understands my language and he studied with me Spanish only. Okay. I speak I told him in Spanish.
We also have two official languages which are our native languages, which are the Quechua and the Aymara.
Quechua is not that's the official name, but Quechua is not the name. That's Runasimi. That's mean language of the people in Quechua.
For the Kurutumai family, there is nothing like going back to Peru, and they make sure they visit often.
I go to Peru, my country three times a year.
We're going every year, almost 2 or 3 times.
Every time we go there, we go somewhere new. Like this year, we went to Machu Picchu. We went to where my dad was born and where he used to live.
We go to Peru. We go in for the last time. We went to last year. We went to Nazca. The Incas, or this long time ago, they created images. The only way you can see those lines that disappear in the sand from the sky.
Peru, I find, is a very beautiful country. It has its good times and bad times because I mean, when you go to Peru, you see a lot of poverty, but it's also one thing you gotta realize is you become grateful for what you have in America.
Peru has a world-renowned diverse cuisine. One of the best spots to sample the tastes of Peru is O Calamares in Kearney, New Jersey.
My name is Juan Plasencia, and I was born in Peru. I'm a Peruvian native. My family and I immigrated when I was about 1.5 years old to the United States. We opened our first restaurant in Union City, New Jersey. After that, we had about a 2-year hiatus and opened up on Bergen Line Avenue under the name of O Calamares. O Calamares literally means "Oh squid," an exclamation, and it's my father's childhood favorite restaurant in his barrio in Peru, so we named the restaurant after that.
The #1 dish that comes to mind is the famous ceviche,
which is the sushi form of seafood that we eat, and is very well known.
Ceviche is one of the principal dishes of Peru, and it's now known all over the world. It's marinated seafood with lime and onions and a couple of accompaniments. Ceviche is made using any variety of seafoods. The fish should always be used raw. The marinating of the lime will then cook the fish and make it opaque. Once the lime starts penetrating the protein, it won't be as tart or as acidic at the end as it was in the beginning. The Incas were actually the first to prepare a type of ceviche using fermented corn, instead of lime as the acidity, and they would, marinate the fish in that until it sort of becomes opaque, and they would eat it raw that way. Once the ceviche has marinated, you just place it in there. You have a little bit of the reserve juice here. You can add a little chili. For the ceviche, we use two different types of chilies. We use the rocoto chili, which is this red apple-looking one here, and the ají amarillo chili as well. And you can just add a little bit of each of these right into the sauce here, and then, just emulsify it. Now, the red one is a little spicier than the yellow. The yellow gives it a little more character. But that's why sometimes you'll see ceviche sauces have sort of like this yellow color or tint to it. Just pour that right over the fish and all the seafood there. Gives it a little spiciness. There you are. That's the ceviche mixto here at O Calamares restaurant.
Another mouth-watering Peruvian dish is lomo saltado.
Next dish we have to prepare for you today is lomo saltado. It's a classic Peruvian dish. Part of the success of this dish is to make sure that the pan is extremely hot before you toss the food in. And you'll know when you hear that really strong sizzle, which is what you're getting right now. Once the beef is almost cooked, you want to add some of the onions and the tomatoes so that can begin cooking for a little bit. Now, the onions and the tomatoes are not supposed to be cooked through completely. They should stay a little al dente and a little fresh. We're going to add just a drop of vinegar. You can use white vinegar, which is what I like to use because it is very neutral flavor. You can use apple cider vinegar if you want to be fancy. Okay, and then of course, just like the Chinese, a little bit of mushroom soy sauce. We finish with a little cilantro, and then some French fries also. Just a little bit. And here we have the lomo saltado at O Calamares restaurant.
Here's another dish making its way to the States. It's simple yet shockingly delicious. Pollo brazal is chicken at its best.
So have the very famous pollo a la brasa, which is the rotisserie chicken, which is found all over Peru now, and now is coming to this country. A lot of the Peruvian restaurants that sell only pollo a la brasa are starting to open shop here all over the country. Peruvian cuisine is a fusion of many different cultures that have come through the country in the last 3 centuries.
Every culture expresses itself uniquely through art. Pachamama Peruvian Arts has been established to popularize traditional Peruvian performance art.
In 2004, because we found that Peruvian immigrants were practicing other Hispanic arts like salsa and merengue to the detriment of traditional Peruvian arts. We have actually over 100 students each year. After they study with their particular teacher in a particular form, they do a public presentation.
Every Friday they come to this school from 6 to 9 and they study dances, like example Tuntuna from Puno. And then we have chorus, like the one that you are listening and all the children are in the back.
There is also a special theater play prepared by the Pachamama crew.
We have prepared a special program for today. This is a story that has a very Peruvian background that has to do with our history, our past history.
cajon is Afro-Peruvian percussion. These young drummers create rhythms that can take you back to Cusco, Lima, and beyond. Joyous steps and colorful customs are integral to the Peruvian dance numbers.
The value of this is not only connecting to the roots, but also people have a sense of cultural identity.
The high point of the event was when two youngsters took it to the stage and mesmerized everyone. Like the ceviche marinates and becomes a great dish, the Peruvian community in the U.S. are marinating and slowly but surely becoming a key part of this diverse nation. They're a valuable addition, contributing to the American culture with their delicious meals, fun dance, and hospitable traditions.